My name is Richard. As a photojournalist, I travel across the world, freeze-framing life as it unfolds. A journey which has taken me across all spectrums of photography, from portraits to fast-paced action. While I'm always in search of striking landscapes and panoramic moments, nothing compares to my true passion, capturing the culture and excitement of Carnival.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago. The sun could be burning, we don't care. And if the rain stop falling, we don't care. We fighting till the morning, we don't care. Ooh, yeah.
The city of Port of Spain is Carnival Central for Trinidad and Tobago. Carnival weekend is a few weeks away, but you know it's near from all the increase in energy all around. The city experiences an influx in people bustling through the streets with no escape from traffic jams. Avid photographers such as myself can appreciate a lively city that offers a range of subjects and art forms to capture. Just walk the busy streets along Independence Square and you'll find tons of interesting shots. I'm here every year around this time, usually for about 2 weeks, and yet there's never enough time for all the shots that I've planned.
Backing up now, I'm going to head over to the savannah, to the staging area where Carnival is going to be in the next couple of days. Before I do that though, I'm going to head down to the waterfront, grab a couple shots. I heard there have been some developments in the last couple of years. That's it. I'm heading over to the savannah now.
If you have an appreciation for architecture, along the west side of Queen's Park Savannah, you'll find a number of buildings constructed at the turn of the century. The structures, some recently restored, is a collection of heritage landmarks widely referred to as the Magnificent Seven. On the south side of the savannah, where all the carnival action takes place, you'll find the National Museum and Art Gallery, and the most recent addition, Napa.
So you know Carnival is close when you start seeing all the vendor stores go up. Before I leave the hub of all the action, I'm just going to head into the staging area of the savannah and see what that looks like. Wow, this is the stage. Imagine what this is going to look like in a couple days. Just picture this.
On the stage, there's gal on the stage. For 2 days, we here for the stage. Turn on the page, cannot behave. Stage on the play.
It's time to get out of the city and see some of the natural beauty Trinidad has to offer. Trinidad and Tobago is quite a unique Caribbean island in that little emphasis is placed on tourism. Yet, many venture in to explore the diverse wildlife and natural preservations in remote areas along the island. I'm going to connect with a local tour group called Island Hikers to lead my expedition to Shaka Shakari Island.
It's about a half-an-hour boat ride to get over to the island. There'll be lots to see and shoot. So let's join the line.
Shaka Shakari's history is as captivating as its landscape. Belonging to Trinidad and Tobago, Shaka Shakari is the largest of the Boca Islands that spans between Trinidad and Venezuela. According to our lead hiker, Mario Russell, this island had countless functions throughout its lifetime.
Okay, to give you a history of Shaka Shakari. First, it was discovered by Columbus on August the 12th, 1498. They planted cotton on this island, and the name Shaka is Amerindian for cotton. Right? Cotton was planted between 1777 and 1850 when they were slaves. So even if while we're walking up to the island, you will see a lot of cotton trees.
Although cotton growth fizzled by the 19th century, a keen eye can still spot the plush plant in remote areas of the island today. By the mid-19th century, Shaka Shakari evolved into the heart of Trinidad's whaling industry. Based along La Tinta Bay, so named for the water's inky appearance along the black sand, the calm seas provided safe lodging for man-made whaler stations. On the northern ridge of the island stands the notorious Shaka Shakari Lighthouse. Constructed in the late 19th century, the structure is the highest lighthouse in the world, sitting 825 feet above sea level.
I'm about 700 feet off about 825. The other experienced hikers left me. I'm on my own. I finally made it to the top. I feel like Rocky.
The uphill hike through wild vegetation leads day hikers to a magnificent panoramic view of the island and Venezuela. According to Mario, by the 20th century, agriculture and whaling gave way to Leper Island, a sanctuary for victims of Hansen's disease or leprosy. Shaka Shakari became a segregated colony on the outskirts of the mainland. Infected families were uprooted from Trinidad's capital, Port-au-Spain, until a cure for leprosy finally silenced the six-decade epidemic in the early 80s. A short hike over to the other side of the island reveals Some striking and somewhat disturbing images of the nunnery and the living quarters of the lepers. Many landmarks have been overrun by wildlife, yet worn buildings still give insight into a day stricken with grief. Up next, we explore some of the tastes of Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago is well known for its diverse culinary arts, influenced by a mix of European, African, Asian, and East Indian flavors. There's so many dishes to try when you come here. Every year around Carnival time, locals and visitors alike seemingly indulge heavily on a vast array of mouth-watering pleasures. Why is that? Well, it's because after Carnival Monday and Tuesday, Lent begins. In case you didn't know, Carnival was originally a Roman Catholic festival brought to the Caribbean by the Europeans. I've recently learned that the word carnival actually comes from the Italian word carnavale, which means to put away the meat. From Ash Wednesday till Easter, many Christians still practice fasting during this Lenten period. Traditionally during Lent, no parties or other celebrations are held, and people refrain from eating rich foods such as meat, dairy, fats, and sugar. In the days before Lent, all rich food and drink had to be disposed of. Excessive consumption in a giant party that involved the whole community is thought to be the origin of Carnival. Up next, as you can see, many rich cultures and religions influence this great country. Fortunately, I'm getting an amazing chance to capture some of it. It's only days before Carnival, but I've been lucky enough to get invited to shoot a traditional Hindu wedding. I've just arrived at the temple at Waterloo in the central part of Trinidad. I'm here with another photographer friend to capture the amazing steps of a traditional Hindu wedding ceremony. I'm here a bit early, so I'm just gonna walk around and catch some of the striking artifacts and beautiful decor within the temple. And hopefully, I can find someone to talk to get some more information about the different stages of today's sacrament. I really don't want to get into the way of this sacred ceremony.
Now, having a light meter is essential at times when there's a whole lot of color in your shot and it kind of tricks the camera into thinking different exposures. You got one of these babies? Bang on, you're there.
Remember, when taking on a wedding assignment, you should always have a backup of everything. You never know when your flash, lens, or camera could start malfunctioning.
Okay, the Indian wedding, or Vivah Sanskar as it is called, is a very sacred ceremony. It's the joining together of two souls. It starts with the meeting of the bride bride's party and the bridegroom's party. Before the groom comes out of his vehicle, they would do arti. There's a traditional welcome, waving the flame around him. That is what is referred to as parche. Then the dulha, when I say dulha, I mean the groom. When I say dulhan, I mean the bride. So the dulha will enter the wedding place there, what we call the maro. The entrance of the dulhan will then come walking up the aisle. She will be escorted by her mother. Her mother will be holding part of her sari above her head as a symbol of protection. Then the puja will proceed. The next major step would be the giving away of the bride, and it is called Kanyadan. Kanya means pure girl, the very special part of the ceremony. Then they will have the tying of the sacred knot. The clothing of the bride and the groom would be then tied. So today it's commonly used. People are going to tie the knot. The next part would be offering of what we call parched rice or lava into the fire. Okay, so they will be going around the sacred fire 7 times, and each time they come around, they will be offering one bit of that rice, that parched rice in the fire. Then the dulha and dulhan will pledge their vows to each other, reading of the marriage vows. Something that is traditional to the Hindu wedding, the offering of sindoor. The red powder, but in the parted hair. So the bride will wear that, but it will be applied by the groom under the cover of a sheet. Another thing that's unique to Hindu weddings is giving of Mangal Sutra. Mangal Sutra is a special necklace that is worn by married women only. It's traditional in Hindu weddings that they exchange flower garlands, and that comes next. After that, we have Ashirvad or blessing by all elderly and married people, wishing them all the best in their new phase in life. Two has become one.
Coming up in the next episode, I get up close with 2 of Trinidad and Tobago's most acclaimed musical superstars.
Some of the perks of shooting a wedding is the food, and this is delicious. First of all, it weighs like probably about 10 pounds. Which way do I hold it? Oh, this way. Any tips? Almost. Thank you very much.